Well, there are certainly signs of divergence among central banks. While the European Central Bank and the Bank of Japan maintain a course of easy money, it's looking just the opposite for the Fed and the Bank of England. This week, it's the turn of the Europeans to determine policy. At the moment, the world's leading central banks appear to be moving in different directions. The European Central Bank and the Bank of Japan are continuing on their path of quantitative easing and negative interest rates, causing low inflation. That's a move that's been hurting banks. While the Bank of England and US Federal Reserve are expected to hike rates at some point in the future. The Bank of England will need to counter a rise in inflation resulting from a plummeting pound, while the Fed has indicated a rate hike in the coming months as the economy strengthens.
With central banks around the world in the spotlight, many policymakers are waiting to see what the fallout of Brexit will actually look like. And of course, what happens here in the UK. And many are also looking ahead to see when the US Federal Reserve will actually pull the trigger and raise interest rates.
And analysts widely believe that will come in December. So when the ECB sits down in Brussels this week, it has plenty to discuss. In the spotlight is what it's going to do with its quantitative easing program, especially as it watches that scheme struggling to make the desired traction in Japan. It's clearly a dilemma for the ECB. On the one hand, the last thing they need is a banking crisis. On the other, there's a real need to keep monetary policy loose to help weak economies. Dilemmas, too, for the Fed and the BOE. Move too quickly and they choke off growth. Move too slowly and inflation takes hold, putting that same growth at risk. Marion Bemard for CCTV.